Come on. No, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Hey. Hey, go. Come on, Jenna, go. Let's go. Bad girl. Let's go. Keep walking. Keep walking.
All right, with all jokes aside, let's get serious, okay? Oh, by the way, yeah, I do have a TikTok. I try to upload this on TikTok, and it wouldn't even stay up for 30 seconds, and TikTok would automatically take it down, right? When literally chicks are demoralizing themselves in this way, but I can't show it. I'm not really active on TikTok. I only have like a couple of posts, and it's mainly just me showing other people and their stupidness on camera. But anyways, with all seriousness, ladies, do you ever really mature up? I'm gonna present some scenarios to you guys right now, and I really, really, really want you to think about these things long and hard. Just like how you are used to taking, right? Long and hard on the weekends. Anyways, number one is when you're talking to a woman, let's say a touchy topic, let's say age of consent. They're always going to shame you if you go for anything below 18, even though the age of consent where you live might be lower than 18. You're always considered a perv, a pedo, and you're always considered justifying for other pedos and pervs if you go for anything below 18. Even though the law says it's fine, they will never ever logically talk to you about any of that. It's always about, oh, who hurt you? Oh, you can't get laid. Oh, you are such a perv. It's always emotional attack they throw at you. They never talk to you like a mature person and address the issues and address the points that you present. Does that sound like somebody who's an adult? Or does that sound like somebody who's a child? Even when you're a 40-year-old, 50-year-old man and you're still, let's say, smashing 18, 19-year-olds, they will still call you a pedo, a perv. Oh, she's your daughter's age, all this kind of stuff. Even when she's legally 18, according to them, right? Because according to women, anything below 18 is no-go. And a lot of men too. Even though the law says that you can in some places, right? Me even saying this right now is going to have people leave comments saying that, oh, you're a perv, you're a pedo, this and that. Me even just addressing this, does that sound like somebody who's a mature human being? Because maturity is not that. You definitely cannot call yourself a mature person when you can't debate me with actual logical points. Because it's only children who can't debate you with actual logical points because they don't know any better because they're children. So are you really a mature person? Or they will tell you, oh, you're tricking. That's the next point. Even when you're presenting to them that you pay regardless, you pay the most if you get married. On the back end, how much you're spending on buying a house, buying cars, buying health insurance, this insurance, that insurance, paying for utilities every month, paying for kids' school, food for the whole family, blah, blah, blah. And the list just keeps going on, right? You pay the most that way. But they'll always argue with you about this. No, it's about love. No, it's not about paying. But you're a trick if you're paying up front. You're not a trick if you're paying in the back end, but you're a trick if you're paying up front. You're not buying a hooker or whatever. And just a few chump change being thrown at her and letting her and sending her back on her way, right? I'm uploading or I'm processing another video. Just checking the progress on it. That's another point, right? Does that sound like somebody who's a mature human being? who literally will refuse to look at both sides of the argument, even when you're presenting data and logic to them, instead of emotions like themselves? I don't think so. Next point I have is women who argue with you. Have you ever heard or listened to a woman's and a man's argument? They will literally argue and justify and clarify the smallest freaking points, the pettiest and the smallest and the most frivolous points that you guys are talking about. Let's say you are arguing about, I don't know, something serious, the mortgage not being paid last month. And for some reason, you leaving the dishes on the sink pops up in that conversation. And she tells you, oh, I'm always so stressed out. You don't even wash the dishes. I even have to worry about the dishes. And that's why I forgot to pay the mortgage bill, because I'm so stressed out all the time. I have so much in my head, in my mind. And then you tell her, no, sweetie, I make sure it's always washed. I always turn the dishwasher on. And then she, instead of dropping it or even bringing it up in the first place, starts going on a complete different tangent on a freaking dishwasher and who's gonna do the dishes, instead of talking about this mortgage issues that you guys have. Which one is more important? Now you might come in here and say, oh, well, he can drop it too, right? Why does he keep going with it? Why isn't he dropping it? Do you see what you just did, ladies? You literally just proved my point that you're a child. Because it's only children who not only drop, or who not only not drop these little frivolous matters, but also always deflect. It's never their fault, right? Always will deflect. Oh, he can do that. He can be the bigger man. Why do I have to do it? Does that sound like somebody who's a mature human being? That's my next point. Deflection. All these videos I make, there's been so many times people come in here and say, men do it too. That's how big of a child these people are in the head. That they completely overlook all the data, all the facts, everything that I'm presenting, all the logic. And their answer is, well, men do it too. Does that sound like somebody who's mature to you? Or does that sound like somebody who's a child? You know when children get into an argument, into a fight? He hit me first. It's his fault. Men do it too. Men started it. It's his fault. Do you guys not see the resemblance? You call this as a joke? Literally putting a dog leash around your neck and walking down the street act like a dog. This is funny. This is joke to you? Who jokes about stuff like this? Middle schoolers. I don't think even high schoolers joke about stuff like this. Little children joke like this. Not grown-ass adults, mature people. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about any of the points I made so far? And you'll still have people disliking this video and arguing with me. You call those mature people? Shaming tactic and deflection. Regardless of how much data, logic you present to them, numbers, stats you present to them, they'll always tell you who hurt you. What's wrong with you? They will never acknowledge the data, the numbers. They will never call you a liar. This is why I keep doing what I'm doing. You can call me all kinds of names, but you'll never call me a liar, because you and I both know what I'm speaking is nothing but facts. It's nothing but the truth. And only a mature person can handle the truth and look at it. I'm not telling you to accept it even, but at least understand that what I'm saying is not false. And only a mature person who don't agree with me, who disagree with me, can come in here, disagree with me, but still at least acknowledge what I'm saying is the truth. Immature people can't do that. Children can't. And who's immature? Children. We all know that ever since women start getting sexual attention, their maturity stops developing. You know how they say that, oh, women mature faster than men? Women are more mature than men. Do you know the time period what they're really referring to? Before men and women both hit puberty. Adolescence, toddler. That's the time period they're referring to. Yes, of course. Women do mature quicker than men in that time period, but then their maturity gets stunted. And men's maturity keeps growing. Yeah, we might get mature later in life, but we still become mature and we keep becoming more and more mature. Our maturity doesn't get stunted. Our growth doesn't get stunted, unlike women. Their maturity stops. Sure, they might exceed us early in their life, but then it will stop. We will keep going and exceed them and still keep going. We won't stop. It's kind of like the rabbit and the turtle race. Slow and steady wins the race. You guys have heard of that, right? We have time on our side, fellas. Just know that. You can't call these people mature. Are you serious? As I was saying, in that argument that the man and the woman is having about mortgage, now it's about dishwashing. No, you never turned the dishwasher on. You never washed the dishes. No, I caught you back in July 27th at 2 a.m. in the morning, leaving your empty, dirty ice cream bowl on the sink, and I never saw you wash it. What does that have to do with anything about what we're talking about? This happens all the freaking time. Just pay close attention to an argument between a man and a woman. And it's always have to be the man who has to redirect the conversation back to what they were talking about. Okay, hey, sweetie, we're talking about a different thing right now. Let's bring it back. It's never women. They're always going to keep elongating the argument just to win it. Throw petty, old arguments at you just to win the argument. That's another point. It's not about being right or wrong in the argument. It's about winning the argument for women at all costs. It's like something in their head just triggers them. If they lose this argument with you, their life is going to be over. Does that sound like somebody who's mature? Because mature people can own up to their mistakes, their responsibility. Only children and immature people always choose not to look at their own crap when they take a crap. It's like a dog. When it takes a dump, it looks away. When you try to show it, hey, what'd you do there? Why'd you do that? Dog looks away. Same concept. When you get cheated on by a woman, she always tells you what? You pushed me into his arms. You didn't do X, Y, and Z right for me. You didn't make me feel good. Again, she's deflecting on you. Does that sound like somebody who's mature? I'm not saying all women act like this. But 99.99999%. You know what? Matter of fact, I have never actually met a single woman in my entire life who's mature and who can accept her own mistakes, own problems. I have women who are married in my comment section who try to justify all the points I'm making and themselves, or who try to counter all the points I'm making by justifying themselves. So I'm a good woman. My husband don't think like this and that. I treat him nice. No, you don't. If you are a good woman, if you actually treat your husband right and nice, and you actually have a happy life and a happy marriage, true happy marriage, because you might be looking at it from your perspective. We don't know what your husband feels like. Of course, your husband is working. Of course, you are happy because your husband is the workaholic. He's sacrificing his entire life to make you happy. Of course, you're going to say that, yeah, you have a good marriage. As the husband when you're not in the room. But the other reason why I know that your marriage is not successful and you're not happy is because you're watching these kind of videos. Successful people with successful marriages and a happy life don't watch videos like this. If you're in my comment section watching me, you don't have a successful marriage. I promise you, or a relationship. You don't. You can keep yourself, if you can keep telling yourself this false narrative, this Disney fairy tale bullcrap all day long just to cater and soothe to your own ego that you have a good life, a good marriage, just so you don't go crazy, knowing that in reality it's really nothing but crap. You can do that all day long, but you're running away from your own problems. That's not my problem. That's my next point, by the way. These people are plugged to the matrix. They keep telling themselves they live a happy life when really they're just a tax slave and living paycheck to paycheck with nothing to show for. Their kids are growing up to be bad kids, not knowing a damn thing about life. Their kids are growing up to be floaters and drifters just like themselves. They don't even have a good legacy to pass on. They're deep down very unhappy and very discontent. They're not content with themselves. That's why they always go buy the new furniture from the furniture mart, from Nebraska Furniture Mart, to replace their old bed frame, to replace their old coffee table. They always want to go buy the next iPhone to replace their old iPhone. They always want to go buy the new TV on the next Black Friday shopping market. They always want to go buy the next car. It's always got to be the latest, the next best thing on the market, material thing that comes out. Why? Because they're drowning their pain, their discontent with materialistic stuff and distractions like this. They always have to scroll through TikTok and YouTube shorts to entertain themselves because deep down they don't have any thought process. They're just like sheep. They believe what they're sold to day in and day out. They don't have their own thought process. That's why they have to drown themselves from what other people are selling them. They have to build their own thought process based on what they're sold on the TV by media. Do these sound like mature people to you? They take hundreds of thousands of student loan debt and then later turn around and say, oh, I'm so screwed, I don't know how to pay all this debt off. Do you think mature people don't think long term before even they take the debt? Okay, how am I going to pay this debt off? Immature people do that. They jump from cock to cock to cock to cock throughout their entire early 20s, late teens, even high school days. Starts in high school, yeah. And then they turn around bitter and hurt after 30, saying, where did all the good men gone? Why can't I date and have my own pick how I used to? Do those sound like mature people to you? Do mature people really not see that it's really their fault instead of being bitter and hurt and angry towards the outside world and towards men? You did this to yourself. Nobody but you is 100% responsible for your own life, how it turned out. Mature people know that. But when was the last time you heard any woman ever admit up to this fact right here? That, yeah, I pissed off my valuable time and I didn't cash in my value when I had time, and now I'm shit out of luck. I don't have any good choices to make. I don't have any good picks. So it's my fault. When have you ever heard a woman ever admit to that? It's always the man's fault. Do these sound like mature people? Do you see on TikTok their definition of fun, of doing fun things, which is drinking, going out in the club, shaking their booty? Every freaking weekend. Do these sound like what mature people would do with their lives? make these horrible financial decisions, life decisions. So really, ladies, are you ever mature, or you're just a liability to the rest of the society? You ask for all the rights as a man, but you don't want to take any of the responsibilities as a man. I honestly don't think women deserve equal rights as men. No, I don't. Do you know why? Because this unalienable, God-given rights that you speak of were earned by men when we fought our independence war against Britain, or whatever country you're in, you fought your war against whoever, your independence war. That's how you received these rights. You meaning men. So you have earned these rights. What did women do? After you have built a civilized, safe neighborhood and a community where you're not getting bombed or you're not in a war zone, that's when, and you have built comfortable air-conditioned buildings, that's when they decide to march down the street asking for equal rights. Asking. That's the key word, asking, not earning. We have earned as men our rights with our blood, sweat, and tears. We constantly get challenged by life, by other men, and tested by other people. And we have to earn our spot in this world. Women are given their spot. They haven't earned a damn thing. They only have these rights because we men decided to give it to them. That's why I don't believe that women deserves equal rights as men. No, you don't even deserve the equal opportunity. Not only you don't deserve the equal outcome, but you don't even deserve the equal opportunity, in my opinion. Why? Because you haven't earned it. We have earned this equal opportunity. We have built this society from ground up to where this opportunity can exist. And I'm making all these points. Somebody's going to see this last point and they're going to leave a dislike, well knowing what I said is nothing but the truth. And they won't even have anything logical or counter argument to make to me instead of shaming language and deflection. Do these sound like mature people to you? Don't take these women seriously. Don't ever listen to women about any kind of advice, dating, relationship, financial life, anything. You as a man need to figure it out on your own, just like how men have done since we were cavemen, since the dawn of time, since you can ever remember. Follow me on Instagram at Zeekpeak00. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope this one made sense.